Alright, we are going back to my parents' house where we're going to be converting the van. We haven't got the van yet, but we have to come back for an appointment with Con later in 2 weeks. But we have a couple things that we need to do in our home city anyways, with some old high school people and whatnot. And Shayna's nephew has a birthday, so we're just going to head back today, take a load of crap with us. The trunk's absolutely full. First night in the van, using my clothes bag as pillow, laid out across the bench seats. Sitting outside of the loves. It's kind of noisy. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Good morning. I didn't sleep at all. It was just too cold all night. I need to find a way to fix that so I can do it the next time. But the windshield is very dirty, so I'm going to try to find a way to fix that. So it appears the mess is on the inside, so I'm going to have to try to take care of that a different way. Actually working better than I expected. I should be driving into the sunset today, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So tonight I'm just going to get some cloth and try to wipe it down some more. Okay, so we have the van all loaded up from storage unit here. Beyond that, I'm going to get going. I need to fill up on diesel and get the DEF filled, and then we're headed to Dallas. So after many hours of driving, I finally get back to my parents' house, and we start on work to stripping down what looks a little rundown in here. I start first on taking off the covers for the passenger AC, since that's blocking all these kind of torn apart, ratty headliners. There's lots of different clips and wiring connections to all this, so it takes quite a bit of time. There's a dirty filter. The van originally had belonged to a competitive dog breeder, so there's a lot of mess from the work, and definitely a lot of hair and dander everywhere. This first seat comes loose really easily. The second seat, which I don't get to immediately, gives me a lot of trouble because the latches are broken. Here's still some leftover stuff that I picked up in Dallas and the storage unit. Most of it I emptied out before we started streaming. I think they used it as like a partially live-in van because a lot of it had these little hooks on the side, and there was a little bit of electricity hookup, but not much, and it was kind of shoddy. A lot of this I had to look up tutorials on how to take down, like the little storage things. I don't know what they're actually for. I just put snacks up there. Couple heater parts on the ground that we had to take out so that we would be able to get the floor out later. Here it is with me struggling to get this off. I had tried to use a hammer to kind of lever. The plastic handle was not only broken, but the actual mechanism was fused a bit. I ended up being able to get the claw part of the hammer under the where the handle would connect to, and using that kind of as an extension for the handle. I know there are better tools for it, but I just found these gooseneck pliers and started coming down on these because I didn't really care about the condition they were in after. These wall panels were going to be taken out because there were stains on it from the dogs. I did end up kind of ruining some of the speakers because they were riveted to the wall pieces. I didn't care at first because when I tried to use the stereo, it just sounded like all staticky. But I found out later that it was just because the antenna was broken, so I ruined perfectly good speakers in the back of the van. And it definitely would have been cool to have music all throughout the van. We ended up taking these to Liquidator. That was a friend of Shayna's mom. She still actually has them and hasn't sold them yet, apparently. There was a deal where she gets part of the commission of selling it, but I think she's just pricing them too high because it's been over, I think, 2 years now. These seat tracks were kind of rusted in, so we had to use the impact drill to get it out. It was making me very nervous, the condition of a lot of these tracks, and also the, I guess, D-hooks that you can see on the side of the floor in some places. One of the heads of them actually snapped off and I had to drill it out. Those overhead trays are one of the few things we actually ended up keeping fully from the van, and I'm super glad we did because they hold a lot of good snacks. We ended up, since I had destroyed the speakers, putting 2 stereo Bluetooth speakers up in each one of ours. This was a huge pain to take down with the headliner sagging because the droopiness of it was just hanging on to or blocking my full range of motion and smacking my hand while I was doing it, you can see here. I had to look up videos on how to detach a lot of these things, because especially these A-pillars. Luckily I did, because there were airbags connected to them. I did have the battery disconnected, but that's still always something you want to pay attention when you're messing with. You can actually see me watching the video here on how to do it. We wanted to test to see if the AC in the back worked, but that was for plugging in on shore power, so we got a 30 amp to 15 amp adapter, because my parents obviously don't have a 30 amp hookup outside. So we are going to go ahead and use this plus an extension cord to test the secondary AC, because it runs on AC, and found out that while this is a 30 amp adapter, this is a 30 amp locking plug. So I'm going to go back to Walmart and find out if I can either find an adapter for the adapter, or if they just have a different adapter for locking plugs. So we finally went and got this off at Amazon, and then we're gonna try it in there. Hey! It's okay, come here.
Why did it trip?
It's probably not pulling enough amperage out of it, I don't know. No.
Maybe.
No, wait.
Did it trip something in the house?
Oh, go there.
Hey! Go there!
That works very well.
Try not to rip my pants.
Hang on.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I don't know how to turn it off. Ah, there we go. I don't know if the heat works, although it'll probably take a second to warm up.
Have a heater though, too.
Yeah, it works, I smell it. The problem ended up being a peak pull whenever the compressor's charging, and this ends up being a problem still. I know how to fix it, but it's going to be a bit of extra work since the roof rack is over the AC now. Jane was able to give me a hand with getting the headliners down, since it was going to be a little bit of an annoyance with how big they are. I think she really just wanted to pull off all this upholstery. I think I got them all. You want to take it?
This looks like a big chunk, but yes.
There we go.
It's gonna fall on me.
What?
It's gonna break your neck. The headliners.
No. I don't think so.
Okay, I'm out from under it. Ew! Ew! It's covered in hair!
I don't think it's hair, Shayna. Look at the top.
Okay, you're right.
I think it's just the cardboard. I should have told her that at the end. Light up. Ah. For now.
Can you try it? It's pretty windy.
It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
After testing the AC, we needed to pull it down since it was blocking two of the headliners. They had these like 8-inch bolts that went all the way into the top of the AC, and it took forever to get them out. The top side of it was sealed, so we only need to pull off the control panel area. Thank you.
So how are we gonna do this again?
I'm just gonna have to splice it.
That's not a lot of room to splice.
Or if, now that it's down, if I look in there that I can unhook it, I'll take it apart a little so I can see what it connects to on the inside. Those super long ones, screwed through this and put it into this.
Yes.
Oh, actually into here. But anyways. I'm not going to worry about taping these up because we're not going to plug anything in there. Here, let's just do this. Aha!
I need to save this. And maybe that.
Yeah, probably that. Why throw away something that's already measured for it? The walls of the van had surprised me, and the ceiling as well, so I was getting a pretty good feeling that there wasn't going to be too much rust other than the parts that were just directly exposed to life. A lot of the shoddy electrical components and everything were really difficult to get out, so they just kind of zip tied it to everything. So I ended up just having to cut the wire. I was planning on saving it just because it's the length I would need anyways, but we had to hurry and get a lot of the stuff out but leave the floors in this day because I was helping my brother move. So we were taking advantage of the fact that it was pretty much a cargo van until we started the build. I'm not an engineer or electrician or anything, so a lot of these videos are just going to be kind of our experience, not instructional. If there's any instruction, it's going to be instruction on what not to do because I did a lot of that. I went through about 3 phones during the whole course of filming this because a lot of them overheated. At this point, this is already the 2nd phone. At a certain point, I ended up getting a separate device that I was able to use as a stream with an action camera that was able to handle the heat better. Here, I'll drag this out there.
Okay. Did you guys see Mind Goblin yet? I have no idea what that is. So the answer is no. You move. Get in the way. What?
Mind Goblin what?
Oh my god. Fuck you, Rooster.